just grateful that I found my niche, and people love Preacher's Kids, the untold stories. I say this, last year when my mom died, my whole modus operandi changed. So I'm not going after awards. I'm not going after fame. I'm going after doing things that enlighten my spirit. And if God allows it to go to another level, fine. If not, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to bring some happiness to people in whatever I do.
He's a man of many talents and profound influence in the world of theater and film. He's also the creator of the stage play, Preacher's Kids, a college professor, and a media mentor. Right now, he's letting everyone know about his latest project, the docu-series, The Many Stories of Martha's Vineyard. Friend to the show and Chicago native Alvin Malcolm Daniels joins Coach Tony and I for another entertainment segment for our weekly show, Interludes Extra presents Talk on Tuesdays. Today, we hear from the filmmaker and how he's using his platform to inspire the masses. From Preacher's Kids to Martha's Vineyard, it's the enlightened filmmaking journey of Alvin Malcolm Daniels. I'm Val the Voice Johnson, and this is the Interludes Podcast. The Interludes Podcast,
a Peer Lighthouse production. This episode is brought to you by
A DJ Saved My Life. It's the latest upcoming ebook by yours truly, Val the Voice Johnson. To experience a preview of the book, visit our website today. It's a heartfelt tribute to the healing power of music and the therapeutic potential of podcasting, with all the ABCs of podcasting rolled into one. Reserve your ebook copy today.
And now, all the way from the south side of Chicago, give it up for your host, Val the Voice Johnson.
When you sit down to pen a screenplay, I've done that, but also to pen a play as well as direct and do some other amazing things behind the camera. This is a Chicago native, and he got a chance to come on our show probably about a year and some change ago with myself. And when Mr. Womble was around, we got a chance to have a wonderful chit chat with him. I have an IMDb credit, Coach. You know what? Tracy Kincaid was shooting her music video, and guess who was the director of that music video?
None other than my girl, Pam, Val the Voice.
No, I wasn't the director. I was acting.
It's got to be probably the brother that we're going to bring on tonight is probably the one who's directing that.
Exactly. And right now he has a docu-series about Martha's Vineyard. We're really excited to bring him on. He's Chicago's own Alvin Malcolm Daniels. Brother, welcome to Talk on Tuesdays. Woo.
Brother, Alvin, what's up, baby?
Blessings. Thank you for having me.
Hey, before we ever get the show started, whenever we are what we call lopsided and loaded, we always represent the South Side, baby. So represent.
That's what it is. South Side in the house.
South Side. There you go. Right?
Oh.
I'm on the West Side too. So, I love Chicago,
So Alvin, it's been a pleasure getting to know you over these last couple of years and seeing how you mentor talent at Chicago State University, and you've been there now over 2 decades. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was from the set of us doing the music video with Tracy Kincaid.
That young man's name is Pierce.
Okay.
Back in 1988, I left the team at Boston University to pursue filmmaking because I wasn't getting no tick. Kyrie Irving's dad was in front of me at Boston University, and the last game, the cheerleaders played, the water boy played, the fans played. I was the only person who didn't play. So that was that I left the team to get into filmmaking. I've been in filmmaking over 30 years. Fast forward, that young man right there played basketball on the Chicago State basketball team up until last year, he left to pursue filmmaking, and now he's doing the darn thing. So it's just incredible how life.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what you call things coming full circle, brother.
Right?
Full circle.
He just got a internship at Paramount Studios, and I'm just happy to say I was part of his journey. So
that's sweet.
Yeah,
that's amazing, Alvin. Come on. Like I said, I saw it, and you bragged on the set, Coach Tony. I saw him. He says, "Okay, I want you all to do this." Wait, and I saw Alvin get on the floor. He had his camera, and I'm sitting here like, "Oh, I am loving this. And so, what it takes to, and that's Tracy over there on the side walking down.
Tracy Kincaid.
And so I'm telling you, when I think about when it comes to directing and literally choreographing things together when it comes to filmmaking, like what's some of your favorite things when you get a cast or get a folks together?
I tell people I like people who pull themselves and who allow the whole process to happen. I love being on time. I hate people who pull themselves. I love people who have a good spirit, because I can work with someone with a good spirit quicker than I can someone who's talented. Because someone who's talented with a bad spirit brings the whole situation down. So just good energy, a good spirit, because hey, I always say with the time we got left, we want to spend it with good people in good places doing good things.
Man, that is a blessing. Speaking of that, just real quick, not off the subject. So did you see the story today with the young lady, well, not the young lady, older lady that was 117 years old, and she was literally born here in the state but lived in Spain? And what you just said is exactly what she said, the reason why she made 117. She said she surrounded herself by good people that got her out, communicated and talked to her and did everything she had to do, and that's phenomenal. So looking at what you just talking about is just incredible. But the question I got for you too is, like my son, he's in this space with you, just like these young men and these young women that you're working with at Chicago State. And I'm glad you mentioned about being on time, because that's more than just being in school. That's a job or career situation. But when you are touching these young men and women that are coming up, trying to get into business, what is the one thing, because making film back in 88, 89 is not like it is right now in 2024. So what's the one thing that you harp on or you work with your students about making sure that they grasp this particular subject so they can be successful?
I took a class a while ago, a class at the National Association of Broadcasters. Tyler Perry was directing it, and he said, use what's in your hand. We quite often think about what we don't have, and that delays the process. Oh man, as soon as I get this, start what you got in your hand. Because if you start what you got in your hand, the universe will bring everything you need to. So I start the semester off with this. And it goes back to what you were saying. You get more books, you can get more land, you get more money. You don't get no more time.
Right.
So use what's in your hand with the time, and everything else will come to you. So using your time and what's in your hand is the most important thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, this has been a wonderful, wonderful journey of you not only working in filmmaking, but training others. That is what I've walked away from you, always being inspired and inspiring others to follow that. And for that young man to get an internship at Paramount, that's huge. What I'd love to do right now, what we have coming up, is what you are currently working on. Ironically, I don't know if I'm going to point this out to you, Alvin. I just happened to look back at some of the photos, and I was just thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, does this say Martha's Vineyard on the shirt?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's my favorite shirt, and it's my favorite hat. I want it.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Well, we have questions about the latest docu-series that you have coming up. Yeah. Many, many kudos. I see it was official selection for the Marina Del Rey Film Festival in 2023. So this has been going around. When was the docu-series finished?
Well, that was the first. So what happened was my partner played ball with at Boston University, Sean Porter. His parents bought a home on Martha's Vineyard back in the 60s for $15,000.
Oh, wow.
That house now is worth over $3 to $4 million.
Right, easy.
He had to come down. Yeah. Oh man,
That's easy.
Now. So he had me come down like 5 summers ago. He's like, "Hey, Alvin, I want to start a docu-series about Martha's Vineyard." He really didn't have a clue, but he knew I was a creative. So what we did 2 summers ago, he had me sit down with a historian, Andrew Patch. This guy talked for 6 hours straight about Martha's Vineyard. So what you'll see in the first 10 minutes is him talking about the history, and then the last 10 minutes will be people who are doing it on the vineyard right now. Again, from him talking, I got at least 10 episodes ready to rock and roll. We just put up the second episode today.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that reminds me too of I laughed when I saw that, because it reminded me of that show that just got kicked off the TV after the second season, The Black People on Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. So
I think the beautiful part about this is another part about being a filmmaker in this age. There's so many other places that you can put your work. When I first started, you had to go to a program director, then you had to go to this person. You had to go to so many gatekeepers. The internet has leveled the playing field. So you ain't got to wait on nobody. People are going viral by just putting it out in the atmosphere. Again, begin with what you got in your hands.
Yeah, and it's funny. Martha's Vineyard is the scene of a lot of famous films, most notably Jaws. I did not know that. I did not know that. And so just kind of going over the history of Martha's Vineyard, and what were some of the major takeaways from that, literally the 10-hour interview with this gentleman about Martha's Vineyard and kind of the history of African Americans there?
Andrew Patch would still be talking right now about this guy. I could not shut him down, but that's enthusiastic. I'm telling you, he'd still be talking. And hey, man, let's go get some pizza. Yeah, let's go get some pizza. But back in 19 So again, the biggest takeaways that I took was, again, now it is the most sought after vacation spot in the United States. But back in the day, people originally went there to get their souls saved. And then as time went along, they saw how beautiful it was. It was like, hey, I want to bring my family. So they had to come from out of the tent revival into their own space. And then blacks started coming. And as Mr. Van Allen said, his great-great-great-grandfather said, hey, let me start a place where blacks can have a place to live while they're here. They housed the Commodores. The Commodores got their start there. Joe Louis would come over. He had a place there. He would be at Sheriff Cottage. You could see the Madam C.J. Walker. All of the who's who back in the day would come to Martha's Vineyard and be right there at Sheriff Cottage with Mr. Van Allen's great-great-grandfather.
Well, that's amazing. And I know that I've seen some different things as well about the famous on the lighthouse. That's that back in the day that a lot of the blacks had to basically become fishermen. They had to sit there, work on the docks, and whatnot. And then they were able to then, because they were able to get in, of course, obviously lobster and shrimp and whatever else was going, oysters. Then they were able to what they call sleep where you fish. And because they're able to give you a room because you worked it off that day. So you basically didn't get any money, but you worked for the majority. And then you gave up the fish and the food that you caught just to have a place to sleep at night to go get up and do it all over again. So to see that, the historian that you got a chance to talk to, I'm sure he could have continued on and on, but I'm sure that he took you to some very critical places in Martha's Vineyard that a lot of people don't even know or talk about.
That's right. Well, I think the biggest thing about my career, I started out in music videos. One of the most famous music videos with a video by a group called Crucial Conflict. Hey, in the middle of the park, we built this big.
Hey,
in the middle of the park.
And, yeah, y'all got it. Rodeo.
You know, hey, we know we Southside, baby.
And I went from videos to, going into my brand, which is Preacher's Kids, and that's a docu-comedy. So I've always been around documentaries, docu-comedies, docu-series, and this piece just plays right into it. The biggest thing I need to let people know is it's not, many people look at it like, man, it takes a lot of money to go there. No, it doesn't. You just got to plan it. You're not going to show up on, think Thursday, hey, let's go to Martha's Vineyard, get there on Friday, and think you're going to have a place to stay.
Right.
Places are booked up a year in advance.
Yep.
You got to plan your trip. And once you get over there, man, it's just a great place to hang out and have a good time with Black people as well as white people.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Newsflash. Val the Voice Johnson is currently one of the lead moderators on the platform The House of Creativity on Clubhouse. She can be heard leading the THOC news team with Latino, wellness, and entertainment news that you can use to peruse your daily life. Join us every Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern in the House of Creativity. Become a member of the House of Creativity on Clubhouse today. And now, back to our show. Yeah, there's also a film festival that happens on Martha's Vineyard, too. What's the name of the film festival that's there?
The Martha's Vineyard Film Festival. There's also a comedy, the Martha's Vineyard Comedy Festival run by Steve Capers and Damon Williams. And they're in the second episode. So each episode, I'm going to give you someone else that's doing something major outside of the history that starts the piece. So that you really get a chance to see, hey, there's a lot of great things going on. And I'm telling you, the whole month of August is just a beautiful time for just Black people just to hang out. Not that we don't hang out the whole summer, but when I say August is August, oh my God, it's incredible.
Here's the thing. The Martha's Vineyard, and in fact, I think one of my favorite films, I don't know if it was shot in Martha's Vineyard, Jump in the Broom, the one that was produced by T.D. Jakes, but it was kind of, surrounding that theme of, there's the wealthy Blacks, and then there's the ones that are not, not so wealthy, and just there was that extreme. There was no middle class. It was just that extreme. Did you hear about those types of stories from David Allen?
Yes, I did. He talked about people who had wealth, who were there to relax and have a good time, and then those like the coach said, who had to work, who were just there just trying to make a living. I think the biggest thing, the difference now and then is now, the Hamptons, you have a lot of what I like to call shishi foo-foo, Black people who go up there to hoity-toity, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
This Vineyard is just so relaxed, down to earth. You'll see Spike Lee, you'll see the Obama kids, you'll see a little bit of everybody just hanging out, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real relaxed atmosphere. And, if you just take one summer. Once you go one time, you're going to want to go every summer.
Man, that's incredible. And, and the funny part about it, we wind back when you're talking about the preacher's kid. When you're looking at that, why preacher's kids always so bad, man? Stay in stuff. Stay in the everything. But, I loved it when I heard you call that name. That was perfect. And what you just said was almost identical to the question that Val was just talking about. And I can't remember the name of that show, but it was the same thing. There was the rich part of it with Morris Chestnut,
right,
with his wife. Right. And then there was the poor part of it, which is her friend was just basically a nobody, but come to find out her great-grandfather who had the history with certain things at the lighthouse and the money and this and that. Did you, while you were there, were you able to find out, because us as Blacks, we got a lot of history from building this country. Were you able to find out a lot of the history from the African Americans? It was in a particular area, or was it kind of like spread out throughout, the Vineyard?
That's good. It's kind of ironic because I got on a hat that says the Inkwell. And basically that was one of the movies that was made a while. That was about 10, 15 years ago. It was so whites were everywhere and blacks were segmented to this one area. And if they ever went to the beach, they went to a space and it was termed the Inkwell because that's where black people were. Now, there's no such thing as the Inkwell. The Inkwell is still there, but trust me, black people are everywhere. I don't know if you've seen the film American Fiction. A lot of that was filmed on Martha's Vineyard as well. So again, we're all over the place now. Whereas back in the day, again, Sharer Cottage was just important in terms of allowing people to stay overnight. Because if you didn't have a place to stay, you would either stay on the grass where you were working or go back over on the ferry and then come back the next day. But now, hey man, you can rent one of them cottages and just have a good time for a week or two.
Did they make his granddaddy's church? Have they made it like a special monument or a special historical place there on the Vineyard?
Yeah. The name of the place is hotel. It's a bed and breakfast.
That's correct, right?
Sharer Cottage. They're doing a renovation now, but the first episode talks about how he went from just coming over, checking it out, started a little business, saw that blacks didn't have a place to stay, opened Sharer Cottage, and 20, 30 years later, it's still there.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, this is such a amazing docu-series. And here's the thing, I'm assuming now the docu-series is going on tour with you. In other words, you're showing it at different film festivals. What's the next film festival that the Martha's Vineyard docu-series is going to pop up at?
Well, I mean, again, I'm just grateful that, how do I put this? Again, it went from having to knock on doors to get stuff on to now there's all types of opportunities. So the docu-series right now is streaming on bricktv.com. Bricktv.com. They do a lot of black films, a lot of black TV shows. And then it's also streaming on Vaughn.tv. That's WVON streaming channel. I'm talking Hulu as well. So again, it probably won't hit any more film festivals. It went straight to streaming and we're rocking and rolling. We plan on putting out 3 episodes a year because again, my man talked to me for about 12 hours. So the first 10 minutes is him giving history. The last 15 minutes is just different happenings going on the island.
Wow.
And just to be clear, the name of the show, I was just looking that up, Our Kind of People. It was a drama that was on Fox, and it was based on a book, Lawrence Otis Graham.
Yeah.
Morris Chestnut was there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One thing I've seen, there's been a lot of films either centered in Martha's Vineyard or about it, but no one has given a real history. So that's my lane. I'm going to ride my lane as long as I can. Just giving people stories. I love telling stories.
And the one thing that I got a chance to see in person at the ETA Theater was Preacher's Kids. I got my signed shirt and everything. Preacher's Kids was something that was a series that was on a few streaming services. Where can people find that?
It's on Prime. It's on Tubi. It's on Big TV. It's on Vaughn TV. We're about to start running on HBCU Go Network, which is run by Byron Allen. It's a funny looking church from the view of the preacher's kid. I'm going to be doing that for the rest of my life because everywhere I go, I run into a preacher's kid and they all have a story. So again, that's the brand. And I'm just grateful that I've been able to. Last year, my mom passed and
sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I took a year away from that to develop some other things. And the beautiful part about life is if you follow your spirit It'll tell you where you need to go. So many people wouldn't open the door in terms of streaming channels for preachers' kids, but they open up the door for something else. And then once I'm in the door, hey, I got some other stuff. So again, you got to follow the spirit. You got to follow your spirit. And again, I can't say enough, Val, how much I'm grateful that you allow me to come on your platform.
And to come back, because this is live. The other one that we did with you before was kind of recorded. And like I said, Tracy,
you didn't come on here with Coach Tony, baby. You good.
Good. Blessings. I look to see you soon in Chicago, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Blessings.
Wow. So we're asking our audience if you have any questions for Alvin. Alvin. Yeah. Go ahead and place it in the chat. They've gotten so into it. Our audience went up, and we're like, oh, okay, everybody's getting all quiet into it or whatever. But to hear that you're going to be doing Preacher's Kids again, I'd love to see it again live. Coach Tony, it is so funny.
Oh, Ben, the question I was going to ask you, and you mentioned something a moment ago, and it was pretty interesting. What is the mindset from doing three separate things? One, a documentary that you did there in Martha's Vineyard. Two, working on a film set that you're trying to produce a film, i.e. a Spike Lee or Byron Allen, whatever. And three, doing a stage play. Which one of those are the most difficult one to work on?
Brother, I got 8 projects going on, and I say this. Preacher's Kids will begin again at the 10-minute play festival at Chicago State. We do a 10-minute play festival. So you'll see an excerpt, and then we'll roll it out. To answer your question, the most anxiety piece is a stage play because you only get one chance.
Okay.
With a TV show or play or a documentary, hey, cut. Let's take another.
Yeah.
A stage play, it's either got to jump or it ain't going to jump. And the great thing about it is there is no canned laughter. They either love it or they don't like it. And I'm
like a comedian trying to tell a joke at all back in the day, at all jokes aside.
That's right. So I'm just grateful that I found my niche. And, people love Preacher's Kids, the Untold Stories. And again, the play will be coming back in April.
That's nice.
Yeah. We look forward to checking that out. And like I said, we've been reviewing other people that do, I want to call it plays, things that are here local in Chicago, because highlighting some of our, I want to call it homegrown talent, that has been the root of what's been happening here with Talk on Tuesdays. And so when I see that you spread joy with this particular play, it's exciting. And I just wanted to personally just say thank you. And we look forward for it coming back to a Chicago stage near us.
Oh, that's a done deal. I can't say enough. The scriptures say a prophet is only with honor at home. And quite often you have to go away to come back. But I'm grateful for platforms like yours and others that allow local artists to show their wares so that people can be like, you know what? I can touch him. I can, I say this, last year when my mom died, my whole modus operandi changed. So I'm not going after awards. I'm not going after fame. I'm going after doing things that enlighten my spirit. And if God allows it to go to another level, fine. If not, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to bring some happiness to people in whatever I do.
Yeah, that's a question I was going to ask you too, Brother Alvin. Do you try to tell a certain story? Like a comedian, right? They build up, but the comedian is telling a certain story and using each of his show, unless you like a good Dave Chappelle who can build onto that, and one show may not sound like the next show. Do you kind of do that where you got the comedy going and it's telling that certain particular story, or is it something that you kind of seen in the back of your mind, like, hey, I've been here, done that, I'm just telling that story?
Well, with the Preacher's Kids, it's different sketches from different Preacher's Kids. What you'll see is an interview with a Preacher's Kid talking about growing up, and then my actors act out a funny scene from life.
Okay.
But if you ever see something that I produce, I want you to leave with a good feeling, because there are enough things that we dealing with, politics, the economy, just so many negative things that if it's me, I want you to leave with a smile on your face saying, you know what, I felt good for that 15, 20 hour, 2 hours with Alvin. That's the main thing I want you to leave with. And I think in doing that, not only am I giving you my spirit, but my mother's spirit is living through me. The greatest compliment I got was the other day. My wife said, you are a manifestation of your mother. What more can I ask for?
Right.
I pay homage to everyone out there sharing their gift. I tell my students all the time, you can go to many intersections. You'll see McDonald's, you'll see Wendy's, you'll see Burger King, you'll see White Castle. On each of the four corners. Hey, one day I might want Wendy's. Hey, one day I might want White Castles. There's enough love out here for everybody. Hating ain't gonna get you nothing. This is one of my Facebook posts the other day. Hate only destroys the hater.
Oh, right.
Hate only destroys the hater. So as long as I put out good vibes, good things come back to me, baby.
There you go. Hey, it destroyed the hater because he don't know how to get hated on.
That's right. That's right.
Mr. Springer caught on to one of the things you just said, Alvin. The beautiful thing about life is if you follow your spirit, it will tell you where you need to go.
Right.
And so these are some golden gems. This is a professor, a teacher, a mentor. This is Alvin. This is what he does.
This is what I do every day. And again, I have to lead with, you can get more money, you can get more land, you can get more education, you don't get no more time, baby.
To see the entire interview with Alvin Malcolm Daniels, myself, and Coach Tony, please visit our Interludes YouTube channel. The Interludes Podcast.
Original concept by Valerie Johnson.
Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesdays sports segments produced by Tony Thompson.
Original intro and outro music produced by Kendall Nesbitt.
The Interludes Podcast, a pure Lighthouse production.
This episode is brought to you by
A DJ Saved My Life. It's the latest upcoming ebook by yours truly, Val the Voice Johnson. To experience a preview of the book, visit our website today. It's a heartfelt tribute to the healing power of music and the therapeutic potential of podcasting with all the ABCs of podcasting rolled into one. Reserve your ebook copy today.
To subscribe to our YouTube channel or join Interludes Facebook group, visit the website linktree/PeerLightMedia. That's linktr.ee/PeerLightMedia.